Hey guys, quick video for you today on Twitter, of all things. No, it's not the most popular platform out there these days, but a couple of quick things for you guys that I ran into this morning. I was tweeting out some stuff from social media today. Don't know if you guys subscribe to social media today or not. I get their newsletter in my inbox every day, every weekday, and then the weekend I have sort of a recap. Follow them on Instagram, follow them on Twitter. But social media today is a great resource for anyone involved with marketing, social media, the whole thing, obviously. You can tell by the name. But this morning there was some interesting stuff out there about Twitter that I just want to point out to you guys. So the first thing was there's a statistic that Twitter has 116 or 160, I don't remember exactly, but it was one of those two numbers. Approximately 116 or 160 monetizable daily active users. So first of all, that's a metric I'd never heard of before, so it's kind of interesting. But the other thing was, so it doesn't sound like a big number, but it's the kind of number that if you really get your following tight on there and you've got the right people following you, and you can carve out even 0.1% or 1,000% of that kind of audience figure, or that active user figure. I mean, it's enormous. So I don't think it should be ignored, even though it's not a Facebook, it's not an Instagram, it's not a TikTok. Okay, it's definitely kind of fallen behind in terms of popularity, but it's definitely kind of interesting to keep in mind. But here's the thing that I really want to point out to you guys that I'd seen now for a few times over. I didn't want to forget to mention it again. So there's an executive over at Twitter. I forget his name. I forget exactly what he does. But he's been releasing, or he's in charge of a series called Good Copy, Bad Copy. So basically it's like a series of tips and ways to optimize your use of Twitter. So for example, it's like one week was like, here's a good tweet, here's a bad tweet. Here's a good use of hashtags, here's a bad use of hashtags. Here's a good Twitter poll, here's a bad Twitter poll. That kind of thing. So again, good copy, bad copy. And it's really interesting. I mean, it definitely kind of gives you some insight into how can I get more out of the platform? How can I use it more often? I think the interesting thing about Twitter, guys, that you need to keep in mind is Twitter's like your megaphone. I mean, there is no limit to how many times you can post on Twitter every day. I mean, you could be on there all day long, just tweeting out even fragments of thoughts, and it's content. It counts. It's not like Instagram. You're not going to post 30 pictures a day on Instagram. You're not going to put 12 long form posts onto Facebook a day. I mean, it's not going to help you any. It might hurt you. But with Twitter, if you send 100 tweets in a day, or let's say you send 20 tweets and retweet 80 other things, it's not going to hurt you. In fact, it's probably going to get you noticed faster. Okay, I've noticed it myself. Whenever my Twitter activity picks up, I get more followers. Whenever it slows down, I get less followers. So it's not. So in many respects with Twitter, it is quantity over quality. So anyway, just didn't want to make this too long for you guys, but would definitely encourage you to check it out if you've kind of drifted away from it, or if you've never had a Twitter account. I mean, if for nothing else, guys, if you're posting elsewhere, you can use your Twitter account to repost it and get a backlink. I mean, obviously in your Twitter bio, you get to put a web URL in there. That's a backlink. That points back to the other site or the other location that you're trying to promote. And then whenever you're tweeting stuff, if you're tweeting out links, you're putting out more backlinks to your material. You're just spreading the word further. And if you're using hashtags effectively, or you're jumping on trending topics effectively, you're really going to increase your reach. So it's definitely something to keep in mind, guys. But again, the main point was a good copy, bad copy. Definitely check that out. You can go over to my Twitter account for Cash Flow Positive Marketing and take a look at it over there. Like I said, almost every weekend I try to send out a whole batch from the week prior, just to kind of get the word out on some of the real good stuff that social media today is putting out there. But definitely check out Good Copy, Bad Copy for Twitter. And that's it, guys. Thanks for watching.